So the Somalian government has asked the AU to pause troops withdrawal from the country due to some setbacks that they have faced with the jihadist movement Al Shabaab. I think for like many years now, Somalia has been a very troubled nation, and they have tried almost everything possible to kind of like push back the Al Shabaab, but still yet they haven't succeeded. The mission put together by the AU to help the Somalian government fight Al Shabaab is running to an end. I think it will end by I think December next year. Yeah, that's the final date. But from the look of things, Somalia is still unable to really tackle this jihadist movement. And it bet the question like why? This Al Shabaab group is very active in the east of Africa. They have carried out a number of attacks against people in East Africa. So what could really be the problem? Who is funding them? Where are they getting their fundings? Where do they get latest equipment? How do they do all this? And how come countries in East Africa are unable to really tackle this problem? It's something that always gets me confused. When I think about the one in Nigeria, the Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria. And I'm like, Nigeria is a very mighty country. Nigeria has a lot of resources. Nigeria is very rich. But how come they cannot tackle Boko Haram? It's kind of like a mind-boggling something for me. I cannot wrap my head around how come countries in Africa keep finding it very difficult to stamp out this jihadist movement in their countries. Because sometimes you will see the kind of equipment that this movement or the jihadist groups will be handling. You'll be like, where do they get it from? How are they even getting it? There's a lot of questions that need answers. But I think no one is really willing to answer this question. So I want us to go through this article that really explains what is going on in Somalia and how the AU plan to pull out their peacekeeping mission from Somalia. The headline reads Somalia seeks 90-day pause in AU force drawdown. So Somalia is asking the AU to pause the drawdown of their forces from the country for 90 days so that they can reorganize things all over again. Because from the look of things, they have faced some setbacks. And if AU pull out these troops now, it's going to really affect the security situation in the country. So let's continue. Violence-racked Somalia is seeking a 3-month delay in the planned reduction of African Union troops after suffering several significant setbacks in its fight against Al Shabaab militants, according to a government letter seen by AFP. The Somalian government is pleading with AU to pause the withdrawal of troops from Somalia. It was planned to be carried out in September, but Somalia military has faced some setbacks, and they are asking the AU to kind of like pause the withdrawal for now, while the Somalian military try their best to reorganize things all over again. Somalia's National Security Advisor wrote to the United Nations requesting a 90-day delay in the second phase of a pullout that provides for the departure of 3,000 troops by the end of September, according to the letter. The federal government of Somalia formally requests a technical pause in the drawdown of the 3,000 African Union transition in Somalia, uniform personnel by 3 months, it said. A diplomatic source confirmed the authenticity of the letter And another source close to the issue also told AFP that such a request has been made. AFP reached out to several Somalia government officials who did not comment. UN resolutions call for the ATSMA force to be reduced to zero by the end of next year, putting security fully in the hands of the National Army and police. That has proven difficult in the troubled horn of Africa nation, where AU troops first deployed in 2007 with a 6 month mandate, but remain on the ground today. I think this mission was funded by the UN, though it was an AU mission. So the UN has decided that the troops in Somalia, the AU intervention troops in Somalia, should be pulled out by the end of next year. So security could be handed back to the Somalians. Remember, the Somalians must learn to carry their own burden. Somalia must learn to take on this Al-Shabaab fight themselves. Somalia must devise new tactics to fight this insurgency in their country. Somalia troops launched a major offensive against the Al Qaeda affiliated Al Shabaab in central Somalia in August last year, joining forces with local clan militias in an operation backed by the AU force and US airstrike. The Islamic militant group has been waging a bloody insurgency to try to overthrow the fragile internationally backed government in Mogadishu for more than 15 years. Somali's President Hassan took office in May last year, vowing all out war against Al Shabaab, whose fighters were driven from Mogadishu in 2011 but remain a potent force in control of large swaths in the countryside. Mohammed, who has recently been visiting the front line, said on August 18 that he believed the government would eliminate the jihadis by the end of the year. The letter said the government had managed to re-liberate towns, villages, and critical supply routes since the offensive was launched. But it said it had suffered severe, significant setbacks since late August after an attack on its forces in the central Galgudu region and subsequent retreats from several towns it had captured from the jihadis. This unforeseen turn of events have stretched our military force thin, exposed vulnerabilities in our front lines, and necessitated a thorough reorganization to ensure we maintain our momentum in countering the Al Shabaab threat, the letter said. We hold firm in our belief that this technical pause will, in the long run, contribute to the enduring peace, stability, and prosperity of Somalia, it said, adding that the government remained fully committed to the complete ATMIS drawdown by the end of 2024 deadline. So we can see that Somalia is going through a troubling time, and they have asked the United Nations to pause the withdrawal of AU troops from the country. And I think AU should listen to them, right? I know the deadline was already set, but since they are facing this setback, AU should reconsider and let them have these 3,000 troops for the main time while they reorganize everything all over again. At the end of the day, I think the security issue must be handed over to the Somalians. They have to face this crisis themselves. They have to carry this burden by themselves. But you guys out there, what do you think about this whole crisis in Somalia? Because I know it has been ongoing like for decades now, right? And there seems to be no solution at side. So, what would you suggest they do? Because I feel like all the military interventions have all failed. So, what else can they do? Please Share your thoughts and opinions with us in the comment section below because, like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, don't forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel because little bit of good we like the one you're doing just now help us a lot and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.